We call it people technology.
インテル入ってる。
So eventually a 5-wicket win that'll leave Kolkata Knight Riders and Owen Morgan particularly pleased, given their run of form going into this game. At Ahmedabad, as it turns out, it's 2 points for KKR. They take that. This is Maruti Suzuki Presents ESPN Cricket for T20 Timeout, powered by Intel. Aakash, Chopra and Dale Steyn with me to look back at that before, of course, we discuss the cricket. We hope that you guys are all taking good care of yourselves in these testing times. And for our viewers in India, in particular, mask up in public, follow social distancing and self-sanitizing protocols. And if you are eligible, please do take your vaccine as soon as possible. Right. Aakash and Dale with me. Aakash, that's a handy 2 points for KKR in a game where there would have been two nervous sides coming up against each other.
No, absolutely. You want to get those 2 points. And it might not be the most pleasing win because it was not one-sided. You would have wanted a one-sided game when you're chasing such a small total. But there is no such thing as ugly 2 points. So 2 points are 2 points. And funnily enough, this team was sitting at the bottom of the table when this game started. Of course, they played one extra game than a few other teams. But now they're sitting pretty at 5. So this is going to be a very close IPL is what I feel. And every day, there's a lot of up and down movement happening in the bottom half of the table. So a very handy win, and it's put the cat amongst the pigeons as far as Punjab is concerned, because now again they are also in the same boat. 6 matches, only 2 wins.
Yeah. Fight for fourth is what it looks likely now, it seems. And Mumbai Indians may be part of that fight. So keep an eye out on how things evolve. We're still entering that only the mid phase or so of the IPL. So a lot of cricket to be played. But Dale, if you were Owen Morgan right now, that would be the weight of the world relieved off your shoulders, getting this points and getting the score.
Yeah, I think he'd be very happy. I think he was very happy from the moment that he won the toss. We were talking about it off air and just thinking that at a ground like this now, if you win the toss, you almost, there's stand a bigger chance of winning the cricket game. And Morgan running off, or Kolkata running off 4 losses, that would have been first task on the list. Please win the toss. Won the toss, and from there, the rest of the game was kind of just like, it just kind of happened, But he's very happy for himself. He would have scored runs tonight. He's happy. He marshaled his team well with the ball when they were out in the field. Overall, a good game for Captain Morgan.
Yeah, he got his nice unbeaten 40, but might I sort of have a word for Rahul Tripathi at this stage, Aakash? 41 of 32 early wickets falling. He's quietly done a job. He's got a half century, he's got a 30, he's got a 20, now he's got a 40. Seems like the kind of player that will always be under the scanner for his place, and he seems to have done a job for KKR at 3.
Underrated, undervalued. He actually belongs to the top of the order. He's an opener who got a lot of runs as an opener earlier for different franchises. It's just that he's been pushed up and down the order way too often for my liking. A selfless player comes out and scores those crucial runs all the time. Today was another example where you could actually go a little selfish and say, I can get my 40 or 50. Let me not try too many things. Let me just knock the ball around and see how it goes. This is something that you will never get from Rahul Tripathi. Gives his 100%, whether he's fielding, and we've seen some good catches, good efforts from him already. And with the bat, the first game comes to your mind where he scored a 50. Once again, a very quick fire 50 against Sunrise Hyderabad. And today, once again, he was the one who was taking the initiative. He was the one who was allowing Captain Morgan to be there and just bide your time, because I am the one who's going to take the initiative.
Yeah, Dale, when we sit here in the media and we analyze IPL teams, often when you make their best 11s or their first 11s, you'll always have 1, maybe 2 spots that are up for, serious scrutiny. If they don't do well, they could very well be out. I'm just trying to think of whether you've experienced that being part of franchises. That one Indian uncapped player that almost feels like he could be jostled up and down the order. He could lose his place the minute he gets a low score, and the sort of pressure that might carry.
Yeah, that happens, and there's when you've got big international stars in the team, not just your overseas stars, but international Indian players in the team, and you haven't quite managed to get to that level just yet, there's always that kind of little bit of weight on your shoulders. You feel like, 1 or 2 bad innings or 1 or 2 bad outings with the ball, and that's it. You're out of there because you just haven't played long enough at the highest level for people to believe in you that much longer. But tonight we saw Rahul Tripathi put in a good knock, and he was the one who was taking a couple of risks and everything, and just allowing Morgan to kind of go about business. And Morgan's been short of the runs tonight, and this is exactly what he needed. He needed somebody else to kind of take the risks so that he could just bat. Saying that, he always came out with good intent. There was a period there where he came out, I think, second ball or something, plays a pull, goes for 6, hits one over extra cover for 6. And that's the kind of Morgan that I know how he plays, especially when he's played for England. He's played like that. But after that, he was just steady. He just steady, knew exactly what his team needed, and he just needed to be not out at the end of the day to get the 2 points. That's what they did.
Now, what do you make of a franchise like Punjab, Dale? They started so well, got 220, their batsmen are getting knocks, and then they fizzled away. They beat the Mumbai Indians last game. You think, oh, great, things are looking good. We beat a formidable side. And next game, you fold as easily as you did with the bat. What do you make of a franchise like Punjab?
Cheapers. I don't know. I mean, with a batting lineup with that, like, Kale, Agarwal, Gale, Puran, you'd expect a little bit more. I mean, we said the same thing out of a batting lineup like Kolkata, but tonight just way too short on the runs. I mean, the wicket at the end here still looked a little bit tricky. It looks like a bit of a tricky wicket. That not easy if you're bowling second. Definitely not easy if you're bowling second. But not a 120 odd wicket. They were well short of what was par tonight. And there just seems to be a lot of reliance on guys like KL, guys at the top of the order to get them going. If he doesn't do well for them, then the rest of the guys, they're just not pitching up. Puran hasn't had an outing yet. He's had a string of bad luck so far, and then tonight when he got his opportunity to score some runs, he just looked really rusty. So yeah, relying on the batting right now is just not doing it for them.
No, normally, Aakash, we see that if one of your top 3 or 4 get a big score in the first few games, that sets them off for the rest of the tournament. Somehow, this doesn't seem to add up for Punjab. They could get half centuries in the last game, and yet they don't look like a strong batting side in the next. What's gone on there?
Which is actually strange because that should not happen ideally. You've got Mayank Agarwal, 2 Indian batsmen at the top. You've got 2 overseas batsmen in the middle. And then you've got the Indian batsmen in Huda and Shah Rukh Khan who are actually impressive. They're not someone who are struggling like you would see, say, for Sunrise Hyderabad. They've got a few young Indian batters, but they haven't really come to the party just yet. They haven't. These guys have. We've seen one good knock from Huda. We've seen one good knock from Shah Rukh Khan. But collectively, it has to come together. And while we talk a lot about Rahul, and we should also talk about Mayank because he also is a good contributor, not a selfish bone in his body. But then in the end, it is the overseas players. Why do you invest in people like Gale or Puran or Quinton de Kock or an Andre Russell on Morgan? These are the guys who are going to now take the team to the next level. If Puran and Gale are not going to do that, then KL and Mayank are already are there. So they'll give you what they're giving any which way. I think instead of actually focusing on the guys who actually delivered, maybe it's time to start diverting our attention to the ones who haven't thus far, or at least haven't fulfilled, or rather not lived up to the reputation that they have. So Gale has to score runs. He scored in the previous game, but so did Rahul. So if we are pointing fingers at Rahul, I think we need to start pointing fingers at Gale as well, that, you are the universe boss. Come here, score a century, win us a game or 2. Puran will come to the party as well. And then the likes of Huda and Shah Rukh Khan will also contribute. So it is, in the end, big stars are there for a reason. They have to win your games.
Yeah, well, it looks like either they're all performing together or they're all failing together. So that's how the team seems to be going for Punjab. I find it curious always to figure who you'd pick as a player of the match in this kind of game. There's not been one standout individual effort. There's a collective bowling effort that did well. Dale, if you had to pick one, Mavi's gone at 3 and over. Prasidh Krishna's got 3 wickets. Narayan's got a couple. Who would you say had the most telling impact? Or do you think that was Owen Morgan?
It's all round, to be honest with you. But I think I'd probably give it to Morgan just because he managed, just from what I know is going through his head mentally. But on this particular game right now, Mavi bowled beautifully, but he did finish his overs before the game really got going. He didn't bowl in any difficult period of the game. But if you're looking at pure just performances and not knowing the circumstances of the game, I guess you could go with somebody like Mavi. I mean, 1 for 13 in 4. That's unbelievable. So you could give it to him.
Okay, Dale's gone Mavi. Aakash, they were still 17 for 3. Were you tempted to go Morgan's way in a chase, or are you going to give it to a bowler?
I'll have to go with on Morgan. Yes, Dale has every right to actually go with a bowler and a young Indian one. That delights me. But then, see, on Morgan, toss is out of your control, but you did win it. And so that's great to begin with. Then he took 3 catches. Catches are never easy till they are taken. So he took as many as 3. And then you talk about his batting. It required some effort because they had the jitters. The fact is, the moment Russell gets out, Dinesh Karthik is there. Who else is to follow? Now it's about Pat Cummins. So a team that's struggling with the batting department, you've lost as many as 3 in the first 6 overs. So you know that you are once again on that slippery slope. So Captain Morgan, I've been fairly critical, to be honest, of Morgan's captaincy and his batting, lack of runs and all of that, because a franchise looks up to its captain, that you deliver, we will be with you, and you can take us along. So this was that sort of a game for On Morgan. Happy for him, happy for the franchise. So my man of the match is On Morgan.
Okay, it surprises me to no extent that the batsman goes for the batsman, the bowler's picked a bowler. But I'm glad you picked Shivam Mavi, Dale, for the simple reason that young Shivam Mavi has a lot of good things to say about the great Dale Steyn as well. Let's just have a listen in.
मैंने स्टार्टिंग में डेल स्टेन को ही फॉलो किया है हमेशा और अभी तक भी करता हूँ. वैसे वो जब मैं स्टार्टिंग में बॉलिंग करता था थोड़ा मतलब मैं आउट स्विंगर था, तो इसलिए डेल स्टेन को ही फॉलो करते आया हूँ. तो मैं अपना कभी भी चेंज नहीं करता, बट मैं बॉलिंग टैक्टिक्स देखता हूँ जो दूसरे की, जैसे बुमराह की, भुवी की, बट मेरा जो मैं जिसको फॉलो करता आया हूँ हमेशा डेल स्टेन रहे.
Now, Dale, how does that make you feel? Hearing what you did with Shivam Mavi, I hope you caught on to the subtitles while they were running on. But he's basically said he's looked up to you ever since he started playing.
Oh, that's pretty amazing, man. Yeah, almost actually brings a tear to my eye, to be honest with you. I'm not even gonna lie. It's it's fantastic. I never ever expected to play this game and have an impact on people that lived on the opposite ends of the world. I still play, which is still great. I still love playing, but that's amazing, and I hope for him that he can just push on, and these kinds of performances will get him into teams that he wants to play for, India and so forth, and just play a bigger part for Kolkata. That's amazing. I would love to get in touch with him at some point. That would be a dream come true for me too.
Well, that's nice of Dale, but I guess no better role model to have for an Indian fast bowler growing up watching in the late 2010s or so than Dale Steyn, Aakash.
Absolutely. In fact, now he's there, so he's with us. He'll think that we have just being too nice to him, and there's a bit of flattery there. But it is a fact. See, when you look around, there are very few fast bowlers in the world who've come to the subcontinent and have actually delivered the goods time and time again. We see James Anderson, one series was brilliant, but then you'd find that in other series not the same impact and all kind of stuff. In numbers, they're speaking much louder than the words that we can find to explain his greatness. Dale Steyn, fantastic performances over the years, inspiring a generation of fast bowlers. Thank you, Dale. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Very happy to help.
I could see the emotion in Dale's neck just coming up. But Dale, let me refuse.
I didn't see this happening. I must be honest with you guys. Caught me off guard.
Does it make you feel a slight bit old by any chance? He doesn't look like Shivam Mavi. I grew up watching Dale Steyn, but yes.
Oh no, I felt old when I rolled out of bed this morning. I'm not going to lie. But no. Yeah, I mean, hopefully there's still a couple of years left. We'll see. But yeah, I'm very happy for the youngster. Beautiful.
Dale, that's very classy of you. Thank you very much. And of course, Shivam Mavi echoes the sentiment of a lot of us that have watched cricket in our part of the world. We may have been angry when you did what you did at Nagpur all those years back, but we couldn't help but admire just the skill on display. So thank you very much, Dale Steyn, Aakash Chopra. Always a pleasure. We will see you again soon on Maruti Suzuki Presents ESPN Cricket Info T20 Timeout, powered by Intel. And of course, before we leave you, these are testing times, like we keep reiterating. Make sure you don't let your guard down. Make sure you wear your mask in public. If you're in India in particular, follow social distancing and self-sanitizing protocols. And if you are eligible, do take your vaccine as soon as possible. Stay safe, stay healthy. Do join us tomorrow before the Bangalore-Delhi game. Until then, from all of us, good night.
We call it people technology.
インテル入ってる。